Hey everyone, it's Frigate here, and today I'm going to show you a frigate I made in Stormworks, and it's something you could download on the workshop if you feel so inclined. Constantly updating it, but I think it's in a good spot right now. So we'll just go over the systems really quickly. I don't want to spend too much time. We've got a 76mm gun here, which can be stabilized and shoot at targets. It shoots. It's got 80 rounds inside the magazine of the gun turret. And there's also a magazine right behind it back here that's got hundreds of extra rounds and an automatic fire suppression system in case there's a fire. Okay, and then behind that we've got the VLS system, which is the ADS-3. It's not made by me, it's someone else, just like that gun. And this guy shoots 9 missiles, and they're only used in automatic mode. So once you turn it on, it's going to engage any threats that are coming at you. And it's really nice because if you want to use the gun and just focus on blasting ships, this thing will take care of all the air threats and stuff around you. And also it'll shoot missiles at ships and it will sink them. Around the bridge here we've got this guy is a Super Arbok, which is a chaff system that's tied to the RWR. You can set it automatically, or it's set to automatic, and you can set it manually if you'd like to fire off the chaff manually. There's 4 6 packs that are around the up top side of the O2 level here, and they will fire automatically, I think every 1 or 2 seconds when there's a radar tracking beam that's hitting the ship or the RWR system. On the bridge wings we've got the spotlight, the machine guns, one on each side. There's also ammunition in this extra lockers here. Slewing arm davit for the boat deck down below. Boat is made by a guy named Soup, who's also he has some pretty cool creations, so go check him out. He's got some cool airplanes that I really like. In the windbreak here on the port side, and on the starboard side there's a SAR locker, so there's like scuba gear, that kind of stuff. This is an RSL, so it's got a bunch of small arms ammunition. We got the 50 cals on the waist here, and then we've also got 50 cals on the stern. This is a helo control, or not a helo control, but a helo support room, so it's got pump system, and you can adjust the pump so that way you can send fuel to the helicopter when it's on deck over here. You can also pull the helicopter in using this RAS system, and once it's parked here you can use this to also plug it up with the electricity from the ship and feed it fuel from the ship. Now the RAS system's really cool. It's just 2 magnets, and on this ship we use the SH-159, which is also my workshop. And it's got the same footprint, so when this system's on, it will pull you in, you can land, and then you can just tow the helicopter using the system into the hangar and just leave it on, and the helicopter will not move. It works really well. Very happy with it. Up above, we've got the helo control system. You see this green indication? That will show the pilot that that system is on. If it's not on, that will be red. The controls for the magnets are right over here, and the flight deck lights. We've also got the buttons to move the RAST in and out, and the indicators to say if it's fully forward or fully aft. We've got a weather readout also, so we can see what's going on. We've got radio to talk to the helicopter. And over here we've got a system that's not on, but it's what we use to control the TACAN, so we can make our ship have a TACAN frequency that if the helicopter tunes into, it can guide home to the ship. That's about it for the external part of the ship. We've got some refueling spots here on the starboard and port side. That'll go to some transfer tanks, which you could then pump around the fuel throughout the ship. Now if we go inside, now we're in the main deck. We've got sonar control here, so it's got some cool sonar kit, I think made by a guy named Pufferfish. It's got an active and passive sonar display with just simulated noise in it. And once you get an active contact, you can get a lat-long readout, so it'll print up there, and you can send that to ships or other aircraft to prosecute the submarine. In the middle there's some active, there's some decoys you can turn on for the torpedo. That's something that you can stream back aft, and I'll show you that later. And that's all for sonar. This is just a simple ship's office with some books and crap like that. We got the mess decks here, people eat. And we've got the mess, the galley here. We've got working sinks and stuff like that. So all the sinks and the toilets and stuff and showers, they all work. Like these all use water and go to different gray water and black water tanks. And same thing with the shower, that'll work. Next to that, we've got the medical for 3 medical beds, and we got an officer's quarters here. 4 people can be in here. Each bunk will have its own first aid kit and also emergency breathing device so that they could escape in case there's fire or flooding. Further aft, we've got the armory, and it is just filled with guns and weapons. And then, oh, we also missed over here. Forward of that is the dive locker. So if you need diving equipment and stuff like that, just come here and grab that. And the furthest aft you can go is this red door. There's one also on the engineering deck, and the red door means that it's a repair locker, so it's got a bunch of equipment for various repairs and firefighting and that kind of stuff. And throughout the ship, you'll see in the P-ways that we got these hose stations, and they all work. They're plumbed to 2 fire main tanks, so you can fight fires and stuff. And the ship has a bilge system that I'm using. Basically, if you go to the bowels of the ship, this black area is what I consider the bilge, and it's just we just let water drain down to it, and you can use the controls here in the ballast room to pump the water overboard right there. So it's broken up into 3 sections: is forward, amidships, and aft. And right now this is the midships bilge. If we go all the way forward in the bow section of the ship, forward to the VLS, this segment is all watertight, so this is the bows bilge down underneath here. So we're all the way up forward. This is just a forward security locker in case you need weapons and stuff if you can't get to the armory, and that goes up to the weather deck. This is a battery room over here, so it's just got all the big batteries for the ship. And this is the VLS this P-way will go through the VLS launcher, and these buttons out here will trigger the deluge system. So you have the ability to flood the VLS mag in case there's a fire or if there's like a hang fire with a missile, and that's outside of all the VLS doors. So now we're walking back aft. Here's another repair locker, and this is the enlisted berthing. So over here we've got 2 showers, 2 toilets, and then 2 sinks, a mirror, and on this side is where everyone's sleeping. So we go further aft. Before we do that, we've got the water plant over here. So you can make your this green tank is the seawater tank, and the blue is the freshwater tank. So you can make seawater become freshwater, and you could pump it over to this tank if you want. And this one is a hot water tank, so you can plug in what temperature you want the hot water to be on the ship and just turn it on, and as long as that tank has water in it, it's going to keep it going at the temperature you selected. This is the gray water control, so you can pump the gray water overboard. If you go back aft, this is the starboard side generator room. So the ship has 2 generator rooms, starboard and port. This is the starboard side and the port side. So all of these have starboard side and the port side have automatic fire suppression systems, and also the 76 magazine up forward and the engine room back aft here. So if a fire is detected, it'll automatically go off. You'll see flashing lights, and you can turn it off by hitting the reset button if you want. And this is the engine room. So we've got, this is considered the aft bilge, so the bulkhead that separates it is this right here. So midships bilge, aft bilge down there. So the pumps will take out any firefighting water if you have to put the fire out in the engine room. And furthest aft is the decoy room. So this is connected to the torpedo decoy. Unfortunately, the way that ropes and cables and stuff work in Stormworks, I can't get this thing to fully come back into the ship, but it'll start in the ship, and you basically have to open this hatch, run a pump to make sure that none of the seawater coming in gets out of control. Once you open this hatch, you can physically push this decoy out into the water, and then you can turn it on, and then you'll get torpedo decoy active light going on, so you know it's working. I think that is it for this level. Yeah, there's the didn't show you too much of this room, but yeah, the bilge controls here. This is the room with all the ballast controls and the fuel transfer controls and the fuel tank statuses. So basically fuel is going to come in from starboard or port transfer tanks, and you can just push it around to the other tanks here. Tank 1 and 2 have the most controls. and tank 3 and 4 are the feeder tanks for the engine. You don't need to have both 3 and 4 feeding the engine. You could just have one feed the engine, but you'll have to monitor the fuel levels and adjust the ballast accordingly, because as you can see, the ship is really light on the port side, so we usually add more seawater, and then if we use a lot of fuel on the port side, we'll have to adjust that. Alright, I think that's it. There's probably something I'm missing. There's a lot of other details, I'm sure, and if you guys have things you want to see added to the ship, let me know and I'll go ahead and do that. Let me know if you got any criticisms of the ship, or if you like what you see. I had a lot of fun making this, and like I said, I'm going to continue to work on it and make little improvements here and there. But overall, I like the build. This is like the max size you can get at a normal workbench, and I kind of want to constrain myself to that, because I don't want the ship to get too massive, and it's already kind of heavy, I think, on some people's computers. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. So if you have any questions and comments or whatever, leave them down below and I'll get to them, and hope to see you guys on the next one. Bye.